Hello everyone, this is Dr. Jaden. Welcome to Ming Medicine. Today, let's talk about Yong Shin in the week chart. In 5 archetypes of wood, these 2 archetypes are considered as strong wood because dominant energy generates daily master, or daily master's element becomes the dominant energy itself. These 3 archetypes are called as weak wood. In burnt wood, dominant energy, fire, is draining daily master too much. In broken wood, dominant energy, earth, is too broad and large for daily master to control. And in cutted wood, dominant energy, metal, over-controls daily master. In another picture, we simply see it becomes a strong chart if wood daily master has water or wood as dominant energy. And it becomes a weak chart if dominant energy is fire, earth, or metal. And of course, if daily master is fire, the mechanism of strong and weak charts will be changed. And this is if earth is daily master, this is metal daily master, and water daily master. So the key is if dominant energy is supporting daily master or not. Generally speaking, people who have a strong chart are considered to be born with strong vital energy and stamina. In the perspective of Oriental medicine, they are born with full of qi. Usually people with strong charts naturally become leaders because they tend to have a charisma and self-centered mind. They can be very simple but have a force to push ahead with their thinking and plans. Literally, they can make things happen, no matter if something is right or wrong. On the other hand, people who have a weak chart are born with little lack of stamina and qi, but they tend to develop their skills and knowledge to fill up their strength. They are more detail-oriented and little more careful to put something into an action. They are close to their mom and teachers because they like to be supported and learn. This is very important concept to find Yong Shin in weak charts because whatever element becomes dominant energy to make this daily master weak, the daily master primarily needs a mother element for support and the same element as daily master to be stronger. And sometimes other elements can become secondary Yong Shin depending on the chart. Let's look at the burnt wood first. Here, daily master is Jia wood and fire becomes dominant energy. The fire drains too much wood energy, so water becomes primary Yong Shin because it can support wood by generating cycle, and at the same time, water can control this fire as well. Wood can be secondary Yong Shin, but anyway, it will generate this fire again. So it is just half good and half bad. However, it might be temporarily more supportive to deal with huge fire with other wood, not by itself. In this case, metal can be more supportive if it comes with water. So metal becomes secondary Yong Shin as well. Let's look at a real chart. Here, fire definitely becomes dominant energy. So water on the hourly pillar becomes Yong Shin because it can control dominant energy and generate daily master at the same time. If this chart meets metal energy like the year of 1980, the water gets supported by generating cycle. This year, 2019, is also water year, so it will be helpful to this chart. Actually, water is mother element for any wood daily master, so this year can be generally supportive for any weak wood chart. We will discuss later, but here 2019 is earth stem with water branch. However, we consider earthly branches have more influences than the stem because it has more seasonal aspect in it. And when we look at the heavenly stem, it is important to see the earthly branches are supporting the heavenly stem or not. In this case of 2019, G-Earth on the heavenly stem doesn't get support by the earthly branch high water. And the seasonal energy follows the earthly branches, so this year is considered as winter time. So if someone's chart looks like this, even though there are 4 waters and 3 fires in the chart, the dominant energy is still fire, because the water stems on the month and the year do not get supported by earthly branches, which means still water element becomes Yong Shin in this chart. And the year of 2019 can be a positive year for this chart. Of course, this chart is a little more balanced than the previous one. Next, we are going to see the broken wood. Daily master is still Jia wood, and dominant energy is earth. First, we need to control this earth, so wood becomes Yong Shin. And water is secondary Yong Shin because it can generate the wood. I personally don't like the name broken wood because I don't want to call someone broken. This is just an image of nature to help us understand the mechanism among the 5 elements. However, if the dominant energy has an excessive strength, for example, this case, if the earth is really strong, sometimes the wood organs or water organs get severely damaged, which can be literally said broken. Let's look at this example here. This is a real chart of broken wood. The ren water on the hourly stem is helping the daily master Jia wood, but doesn't have any source of water due to too much earth. Here, Zi water, the rat, is on the yearly branch, but it is too far from the daily master or hourly stem to support. And also, this strong earth is blocking this water. There are 2 Chun earth here, the dragon, which is the earth but the closest to the water aspect. Dragon is the earth that contains a lot of water. We will learn that later. But I want to say this chart's daily master is not totally broken because of these 2 dragons. So Yong Shin in this chart is definitely wood and the water as secondary Yong Shin. However, in the age between 27 to 36, this chart met Ren Shu, which is yang water stem with yang earth as a branch. This is called as Da Yun, which means the great cycle of every 10 years. It will be our topic of next video. But here, as we discussed, this water stem is not very helpful because it is controlled by Shu earth here. So we can simply say there was another earth coming to this chart in the age between 27 to 36 and blocked the water source, adding more partiality to this chart and making this chart toward the tendency to become a broken wood more. In this period, the person with this chart developed the liver cancer. The image of broken wood is like this, very dried out without water source, and is like a tree in a desolate desert. The last archetype we want to see today is cut wood. This is one of the weakest archetypes because the daily master becomes weak by controlling cycle. To balance this wood, first we can think controlling this metal might be helpful. Using fire can somewhat balance this chart temporarily, but eventually it keeps draining wood energy. So in this archetype, water is the most preferable because it can take the metal's energy to the wood. So water becomes Yong Shin, and wood energy is definitely helpful because the daily master itself can be stronger, so wood becomes secondary Yong Shin. And sure, fire is also secondary Yong Shin. This is the example of cut wood chart. This time I put E wood, which is in wood, as daily master. Can you guys see the metal energy is dominant here? So those wood and water becomes primary and secondary Yong Shin. A person with this chart also had a liver cancer, but in the period between 38 to 47 and in 2008, there were huge supports of water. So this person could get a surgery, the hepatectomy, in the year of 2008, and it was successfully done. I think if this chart has fire in it, this person might not have to cut the liver out because it might not be developed into the serious stage like that. So what I want to say is, even if the primary Yong Shin is water, anyway, this chart needs fire as well to control this metal. So in this period of time, if this chart met wood and fire year like 1986, it might be much more balanced, and there might be a lot of healing process for this wood. How are the examples today? Is it getting more complicated? If you continue to see many charts and study, you will get better and better. Next time we will talk about Da Yun, the 10 years great cycle. Then we will finally get ready to dive in reading Bazi chart in detail, because we'll know if we are in a good cycle or a bad cycle. Okay? If you have any question, please comment on this video or send me an email at drjkemedicine@gmail.com. Thank you for watching this video. This was Dr. Jaden, and I will see you again. Bye!